Thanks for letting me in your house to ask some silly questions. First things first, I need to get this out of the way. So I was doing my research, and you should have told me this, but you're part of a famous movie star.
That's right, yeah.
Who is it?
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
No.
Say it's here, we King Julian from Madagascar.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
Is it true, after a few beers, you become the staunchest man in West Lothian?
Staunch me.
The guy that wrote that was Travel.
I do. I've got the staunch blue fence. Classic Heartlands. Staunch.
Right. So you and me met in high school. Can you remember when we first met?
Absolutely not.
I mean either, because my memory's shocking, but see when it comes to you especially, you just appeared on the scene.
Yeah, I think so. No, I really do not remember ever like meeting you.
To be fair, I can't remember meeting many of my pals.
I think it might have been fives. Obviously every Friday we used to avidly finish school and then make our way to play fives, but then because your house is on the route, we used to get changed at yours. And I've probably just rocked up at your house one day and got changed in your bedroom.
For this guy.
But nah, that's I'm in the same boat as you. You sort of just appeared in my life like some bad genie.
Bad genie?
Aye, the bad one.
You got a lot of good memories for the old school days. And it comes to mind.
Nah, school was grand, man. Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved dropping about with my mom's jeans on and a pair of Chelsea bits. Sliding down the banisters at stairs, walking behind wee groups of Neds, and I'm thinking that there was some sexy teacher behind them, and
he was
turning round thinking that it was a boy in high heels. Especially since my mum made like the Chelsea bits, and apparently like back in the 70s or something, they put wee segs in them, like the wee metal bits to stop the heels going.
Yeah, I've only done that because you done it.
It's like a horse walking.
It made the wee clicking noise even louder.
It was terrible, absolutely terrible. But nah, they were great days, man. I used to play football in the bits, like run about the AstroTurf.
Some chippy bit of it.
Aye, David Beckham. No, it was great. But no, I loved it. Fucking run about like the world's worst rock star for a couple of years.
Shoulder bag.
Satchel, aye. Used to have to change. Used to have to wear the satchel because Dean would just strap your bag straps.
Or pair of drawstrings.
And then knee in the leg.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, I would be walking down the corridor and the next time I'd be in the wall and he'd be full of lunch.
Used to drop your bag straps down and go, knee Christ.
Couldn't
move for about a week.
Right, I've got a bony pit pay from back then. Do you remember the Nokia N85, like slide phones used to get?
Aye.
You're one of the first people that had it when I was at Square Nice phone, quite fancy that. But I thought I'll save myself a few quid and I'll buy it off eBay. So it comes like, I don't know, about 8 weeks later. And I boot it up and this wee mad Chinese song comes on. And it's all in Chinese writing. So I'm thinking, oh, I've changed some settings here. Took it to like a wee sort of phone shop in Edinburgh. Gave it to the guy and I went, mate, I need this like fixed. And the guy looked at me and went, we've been absolutely done here, pal. Right.
Mind you done that to Carson's phone. Somebody's house. We'd set his phone to Chinese. Again, it must have been the Nokia one that played the music, the Walkman one. And they set it to Chinese and he was running about pissed with a Chinese phone and we had to get somebody else with the same phone and like mirror.
Oh, I do remember that.
Then.
Now you mention that, this is off script. I didn't mention this in Carson's interview, but do you remember we were at his house for a party and remember the old jelly bath you used to get?
Oh yeah.
How he was in his kettle and down his toilet and
Well, I never put it anywhere near his kettle or his toilet.
Oh, you're witness to it.
but that was that was funny because they used all this all the sachets to dissolve it.
No.
They used it on the toilet, but they forgot about the kettle. Did they not just chuck the kettle out or something? Well, his mum did. His mum chucked the kettle out in a couple of days, raging.
I remember we were like, Chris, have you looked in your kettle? And I went, who shot our kettle? I immediately thought someone was pooping it.
They had the air rifle that night, didn't they? They were shooting the watermelons in the gun.
Right, like proper steel for sci-fi here.
Yep.
You grew up in Blackburn. Blackburn's got a bit of a rough name for itself, so I was growing up in Blackburn. Any good Blackburn stories?
Blackburn was alright actually, wasn't as mental as it used to be, I guess. But all my pals were from Bathgate and that really, so it was spent a lot of time out with Blackburn. But when I was running about Blackburn, I could just, I don't know, it was just like some Geardies chapter run and the famous Peace on Jam.
Right, you go and you tell it. Because I had it for, I was saying it for Reese's, you told me and I'll let you tell it because it was fun.
Reese can maybe take it and elaborate on it, but for what I remember, he was like Blackburn's #1 Peace on Jam player. And
how did you play Peace on Jam?
So he used to take turns and go up to somebody's door and chap it, and have the nerve to stand in front of a stranger and say, "Excuse me, can I have a piece on jam?" And it was like, I mean, it's awkward now, like thinking about it. And obviously, they used to just like, fuck off, fucking slam the door shut and all the rest of it. But Reese done it once, and it was this poor old woman, and she actually invited him in.
Like an old woman?
It was this like an old couple, and we were waiting on him like out in the street, and he went inside and we're like, oh no, this doesn't happen. And we went round the back and looked in the backyard and he was just sitting in the kitchen with this old woman and an old man. She's like spreading him a piece on jam. And we had to sat and ate it. But that's when we were kids, man. Past that, no, just my famous Blackburn interview story. When,
that's really funny.
Me and Liam got dropped off at the Mill Centre.
Classic place, the Mill Centre.
The Mill Centre. And absolutely pissed, walking home. And
you had told me there was a top man in the Mill Centre once.
Did you try and find him?
I think I went once, I was like, just a Scotland here, but in a post office.
Hey, the best Scotland and the best post office.
I was also a top man.
And so I know, and then two boys, we could see them at the corner of the eye up at the play park, and chased down, but they had like ski masks on, and me and Liam was like, I remember him being like, mate, they're coming after us, like we're gonna have to run, and I was like, we can't run, I can barely walk, mate, like we are no running.
Was that on the out?
Oh aye, this was like early hours in the morning. I don't even know where we were only like 17 or 18. And these boys approached us with a brick in one hand and a fucking list of questions longer than yours. and these two luchadors were like, do you come from Blackburn? Do you stay here? What's your postcode? What's your name? How long you stayed here? And that a full interview, man. And then, long story short, they finally believed that I was from Blackburn, and they said, right, enjoy the rest of your night when you go.
Did you not mention your dad's name?
Aye, well, obviously.
And killed in the field.
Aye, after the big interview, it was more that it was like, was it all my dad's finals, and he's like, oh, finals, and then you seen the other boy was like, didn't he kind of who it was, so he's like, and the wee guy was like, and he's like, and he's like, and he's like, no, what's that? Guy with a motorbike. I was like, aye, aye, all good mate, aye, you do stay in Blackburn, when you go, enjoy your night, and then they just like dropped the brick that they were going to hit his way, and it was like, on you go. And I remember when I went in, my mum was like, because I was only like 17, 18, I go in and my mum was like, what time's this? What time's this? And I was like, just spent half an hour down the road getting interviewed. She's like, what? I was like, just spent half an hour down the road getting interviewed. And then the next thing I know, my dad just like leaps down the stairs in his scants and like jumps into his boots and like gets the dog, lets the dog out the door. He's like, on you go, and then runs away down the park to try and find him.
Was that a bulldog?
No, the other one that was Harley at the time. He looked like he'd kill you, that other one. And I waited to find him and I was like, oh Christ. And then he came back like half an hour later and they're like, oh, we're gone. But it was so, like, I was pissed, but I was made it was so bizarre, man. I mean, fucking Lockie masks asking you a set of questions just when you get to your house.
What do you think you would have done if he caught them?
They would have been back at the door apologising at least. But it was a dog, man. That dog loved me. So
you mentioned Reese there, and I'm interviewing Reese soon, so I can't talk too much about him. But how was going up with Reese? Was he always as daft as a brush?
Aye, Reese has always been the same. Apart from the fact that he used to always run about with a Celtic trackie and blonde highlights.
I've seen a picture of his blonde highlights.
Aye, that's it. He wasn't always Mr. Reese Gallagher. He had wee blonde spikes.
Was it by pretty green?
A wee Celtic trackie. He used to always rip about it. But I know he's always mad, man, and everybody knows him.
Oh, mate, he knows everybody.
I think he's better pals with my mum than he is with me.
You go out on a night with him and he's like, you don't see him at all because he's away talking to people.
Nah. He still love if he was going through Bathgate and you got in touch with him and then you'd meet him on the Bathgate Road waiting on the bus and you would never get the bus. There was always somebody that drove up and I was like, oh Reese, I'll give you a lift. I'm with him. So you used to always get a lift in rather than the bus, eh? But no, son, he's always been the same.
What I always noticed about Reese is, if you're driving through the back bump, you'd always see him running somewhere. He was never just walking, he was always full on sprinting somewhere.
Aye. Reese was fit as anything because he used to run everywhere.
Right, this is a big one.
Right.
One of my favourite nights out with you was one of the very first, and I don't know if you remember it to be honest, because you're in some state, but it was a night out in Dundee.
Aye.
Any recollection of that night?
Infamous. Nah, I've got zero recollection, but plenty of
What the hell were you drinking on the way up there?
plenty of stories.
I got the bus up.
Well, that was back when you thought you were fucking invincible, and
That's not invincible.
and drinking 2 litre bottles of Strongbow. I don't even know if there was anything else, but I remember buying a 2 litre bottle of Strongbow. It was about £2.30, I think. But and then getting to the place, and I think I rather looked older, like I normally do, or I was older. No, I couldn't have been because you're older. I was getting served anyway, wasn't I?
It says, I wrote down here that obviously none of us were like old enough to drink.
Was that for the report that night?
That's for the extensive research I'm doing in the interviews. But for some reason the bar was serving you and you alone.
Aye.
So everyone would just give you money. But when they give you money they'd be like, get one for yourself, pal.
That was the rule.
I think that was your downfall.
That was the rule. It was if I buy shots, I like one for me, and everybody was fine with that. So it was just fucking shitloads of Jaeger bombs.
It was like what, 3 for a £5 or something?
Some deal was on it, and it was just I was just constantly at that bar, and then it was night to night for me. But I remember somebody telling me that in the middle of one of the table was like this chalice. It's just drink that had been left in the middle of this table, and I didn't even know if it wasn't even ours. And somebody told me I drank it, so it was rather like laced with fucking like different drinks or whatever. But I wasn't in a good state. And then obviously my recollection was drinking the Strongbow, buying the shots. And then I woke up on my couch with a jacket on but no t-shirt.
Oh no, there's more. I've got here a lot more than that.
And then I was told that I was in the bathroom. I spewed up
What
everywhere.
was this in your house or at the
At the place, it's Fat Sam's, wasn't it?
Aye.
Spewed up in the bathroom, and I seen a video with Grotty in the cubicle with me, giving me dog's abuse, and video of the bouncer with pints of water, chucking water on me. So rather than like helping me, the bouncer was just chucking pints of water on me, and I think Fraser was like, "Here, you were sick of doing your t-shirt," so I took my t-shirt off. He gave me his shirt.
There's more before that. But.
He gave me his shirt and he says, "Don't be sick on my shirt." And yeah, I think I was gonna be, so he took it back off me.
No, I don't know. I think you were quite, because I was sitting beside you in the bus back, but I think he kept going. But obviously you're sitting beside the curtain on the bus, because it was quite a fancy bus, and you kept going, and you just dribbled down the curtain.
That's what the curtains on buses are for, no?
But you missed out the best bit about that whole night.
Well, I have no recollection, but the rose guy.
We need to paint the
Triple
picture.
H with the rose.
So me and Albert, who lived in Dundee at the time, took you outside for a bit of fresh air and sat you down on the railing. So obviously you're like heat down and saying, "I want just been sick of your own shoes." And this we sort of I don't know what to call them, like a, she was obviously foreign, but she was selling like
Gypsy.
She was selling souvenir tacky stuff.
Definitely a gypsy.
And she had a bouquet, kind of like plastic roses you get. She came up to three years and she went, "You buy those? You buy those?" And before we could like be like, "Oh no, sorry, no day, no night," you just went, "Oh, I didn't have roses."
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Oh, stay there, stay there. Are you taking this? Yeah. This is fucking sick.
That was hard.
That's terrible.
She scampered away.
Oh man, that's shocking. Does there not a guy look like Triple H with a big furry jacket on?
I don't know about Triple H.
Somebody told me there was a guy, I mean, it was like 2 tiers. There was somebody at the top, like this big, like long blonde hair and a fuzzy jacket on. But mad. But at the end of that night, my mum found me outside Harley's in the fucking thorn bushes.
That was my next question. But I just wanted to, obviously we got you in the bus. But the bus is like, what, an hour and a half to back to Bathgate? An hour?
Easy.
So I'm not as nearly as drunk as you are, so obviously like I said, Albert's from Dundee and he brought a bottle of vodka and he left it unattended, so I went, I'll do the bus back. So I swiped it. If we got you in the bus, I'm sitting beside you, keeping an eye on you. And the bus, pulls out and then the fucking brakes and it was like, and Albert comes on. Who's got my vodka? Back up the bus.
Did you give it?
Oh, I tell you what, actually, I think when he came on the bus, I was like, that mid swing.
And then I got somebody's balls in my face.
You can name and shame if you want.
No, that came out second hand. Good time, good times. And then we found out the day that about 6 months later, I found my t-shirt in my jacket pocket. Still covered in sick.
Oh.
Still wear that jacket.
The wee rhyme about here is, the wee woman wasn't the only thing you were sick on that night. The streets got it, the curtains got it, the bus got it, the bus phone got it, the seat got it, your shirt got it. But like you're saying, your mum was picking it for the bus stop. What did you say to you when she saw you in that state?
Well, I've got fucking zero idea, but the next morning it was just me and the dog on the couch. A fucking nice Harrington jacket and a pocket full of sick. But listen, my mum's rescued me dozens of times after that. Unfortunately, lessons weren't learned.
And how was school on a Monday morning?
Rough when there's videos of people's balls in your mouth.
Don't know, you came back. I thought it was the end of the
And then the cubicle videos, man, with that, but that's the bouncer just chucking water, man. It was a notorious night out. Good fun had by yous.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it was about then I handed the man to let it pissy.
Oh, well, he's gone up next.
Yeah.
So, you lived in Blackburn, but in terms of nights out, you would travel to the nearby town of Bathgate.
Yeah.
What's your favourite story of a night out in Bathgate?
So, I don't know, they're merged into one. I just like the times when we ran into the James Young. It was meet up with a table just full of people, because you could do that back then. And order a bottle of rosé. We used to just get like a bottle of rosé.
Like
And
£4.50.
no glasses, just a bottle of rosé each. Just down it, man.
How many glasses? Oh, none. You're a tramp.
I could never do that now, but yeah, just swigging through the bottle of rosé and run into, well, actually I think I'd say the Twig, but like the best times was Chalmers, I think, when it was proper Chalmers.
Oh, I love Chalmers.
They were great, that karaoke room. I mean, I hate karaoke.
Many memories in that karaoke room.
But and then 99% of the time I just walk home. That long stretch back to Blackburn, but it was alright. I don't even know if I've got a favourite night out. Threw me with that one.
Do you remember the night out? I don't remember this because you're sitting beside me. When I think I must have been driving and you were in the passenger seat. And Ben Hughes popped his head in the window and started singing Rover.
Again, where the fuck is she now? So open your mouth and stick to your guns.
Is that fine? Is that?
You got to realise that
fine?
she's indifferent.
I've got it.
Whoa, what's your
Drive.
name?
Drive.
Just one look.
You got it.
Here we go again.
Drive. You got? Is it out? He's away. It's me and
He
Robbie.
dropped his fag in the cover.
It's me and Robbie. He fucking dropped it. And he was trying to get in the window to pick it back up. That was funny. But I know the Twig one was funny when he used to sit next to the fire doors, man. They used to open all the time.
He was almost does one more time.
One more time and you're fucking getting chucked out. No.
Tries to fill those doors many times, man. Like proper just.
It was brilliant, man. I don't know. Folk hated it, but it was cheap and it was. Bathgate was brilliant back then. But it was just usual. You were running about with everybody you knew. Said that I could just walk home to Blackburn half the time, me and Liam. No trouble at all. One time these two dodgy boys stopped. Like I was by myself and walking home, and this car stops like a couple of metres in front, and I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is the time I get raped, murdered. Fucking, I just admitted defeat. That's it. Phone's dead. This is me, 19-year-old. Another statistic. And it was a two-seater as well, because the boy jumped out, moved the seat forward, and he was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "That way." And should never have done it. He was like, "Jump in." I'm like, "Oh, no ball. And he jumped in the back seat, and then I'm like, I'm stuck in here. These guys are going to absolutely day me. And the guy turns around, he's like, "Go Blackburn, do you mind if we stop at the shop first?" And I was like, "No problem." And he drove me to the cross and fucking gave him a £5. It was brilliant. But the other time I tried to go around the Peat Moss on my bike, I cycled to yours once.
I was trying to remember the name of this boy. I don't know if it was the same place, but the guy that lives in the Peat Moss. And he's on a bike.
Oh, the guy that lives in the split brick?
Aye.
For the bin?
Aye.
Aye.
Does he live there?
Aye.
I lives in a wee hut and chases folk on a moped. No.
On a moped?
I thought it was a bike.
Aye. Or
Rather than a moped.
he's the one that steals all the bikes in Blackburn, Slick Wick. Stays up the back of the bike.
Get bed.
Stays up the back of the bike.
Get his bike back.
Nah, one time I cycled to yours and then we went out and somebody was like, "Okay, I'll lift back," and I was like, "No, I've got my bike. I'll just take my bike." And then I was like, "I'm no cycling back. The main road's got a hill on it," and I don't know why, but I went the cycle path round by Tesco's, but then the lights disappear when you get so far around that, and I forgot about it. So it was pitch black, and I'm just cycling for my life. Absolutely pitch black, and I was like, "Fuck!" And next thing there was just all this light, and I was like, "What the fuck's the light?" as I got closer and closer, I looked to my left, the full field's on fire. Like the full fucking field's on fire. Just this glow. And I was like, fuck. Like,
That's like Rick.
well, I was like, right, the field's on fire for one, but who set it on fire? So I was like pedalling for my life, man. And the other bees so scared all the way home. And of course, then my mum's like, well, where have you been? I'm like, such and such just gave me a lift back. But no, it was good. Good enjoyed going to Bathgate. No so anymore.
Speaking of
That's alright.
walks in for the twig, sometimes you stop at the old BP, get a car at midnight, well, later at midnight, but it was me bulging on, and Bulge was steaming obviously, so we got sandwiches, and this guy went up after us, and he was like, oh, he was on BLT, and we were like, nah, sorry, you got the last one. And Bulge went, wait, you got the last BLT. The guys chased us all the way up the road. Oh, fucking BLT.
Wait, they made their money and not on the petrol. It was not the pot noodles that she made.
Oh no.
Fucking outrageous. That was a lifesaver.
I know, big bag of quavers.
Did they even do that?
I'm not sure.
We should go. That's still go to the big Bathgate bender and then fucking.
We'll have to wait till
At the
10
garage.
PM coffee finishes.
Pot noodles at 10.
They'll do it then. I mentioned it last time I was talking to Chris, but do you remember his first ever night out?
Chrissy's first night out.
The panic at the Dreadnought.
Oh yeah, that was why would they do that again? Why would they grass?
I don't know, mate. Even after the bounce, I was just like, he turned to him and went, too much of you have to drink tonight.
At least they got in.
Mate,
I think that was the only time he's got in.
aye, like I said, tries to have me a knockbacks in a tennis ball.
Dave.
Dave. Oh, with the Big Brother.
Guy for Big Brother.
Mate, he did not like that. What was it, Dave the Monk?
Dave the Monk. But no, I don't remember. I just remember going out and like propping the guy up who's like the scarecrow. He used to just lie across the road. And he used to get I don't know if he mentioned, but he used to start walking him to Trafficking and the police would pick him up. And, like,
Well, I don't think you mentioned it,
Aye, the police would actually take him home every night out. And by that, he was like the most bendiest guy I've ever met. Just flop about the place and just prop him up. Still does. Still bendy. But aye, that's what pissing at. To come back that way.
Oh, you've got stouts coming up, so.
Yeah.
Like I said, Blackpool.
Guns, eh?
Right, you're quite close to Chris Carson, so you're the ideal person to ask this next question. What's the best Chris Carson story?
The best Chris Carson story. You probably won't like this too much, but it's
Oh, I don't like it at all.
it's the only one that I know right the way through. No, well, slightly off. This isn't the one, but it was time we were in Sunderland, and he fucking took like a stupid. It was a pure black. It could have been for Asda.
That's Asda price.
Right, it's a pure black jumper. But you know, he's like, no, it was cashmere, And he lost it. I don't even know why he took it out, but he lost it in one of the pubs in Sunderland. And it was like 3 AM and the place is all shut. And he was like, I really need to find his jumper. So like, went to a bar, like the barman, like, you seen a black jumper? He's like, no, fuck off. And they were shut and got out. So when we left, we went like round the side of the bar, all the way through the back. This pub, jumped out the fire door, down the fire escape, into another pub, and they're like, we're closed. We ran right by them, like the two. It was like something like a cartoon. Ran right by them, behind the bar, fucking out the fire door in that one, outside into the street, into the other pub. Ran round that one. I don't even think we were in that pub that night. We just kept running through pubs, and then we came out a fire door in one of them, and it was in like these flats. And then we opened the door and it was like this student party, like this private fucking student party. And we were just like, oh, and they're like, who the fuck are you? And we were like, he's lost his jumper. We seen a black cashmere jumper. No. And it was just like, see when we stopped, and we were like, what the fuck? Like, what happened in that last half hour? We just kept running through pubs. And that was a crazy time, man. And then on top of that, you had to buy a new ticket home. For Newcastle because he lost his train ticket. And so he was raging, right? He had like 20 to 30 quid he had to pay for another ticket. And I was sitting on the train looking at my floaties. And he'd passed out before he reached the hotel room. So like the door was open. And he'd passed out halfway in the door. And I went to bed. And he woke up like halfway in the door. And I was like, oh, remember this picture? Like, you passed out? And he was like, alright. And I went, no, wait a minute. And if he zoomed in, his train ticket was lying on the flare outside the room. So the cleaners like picked it up or something. But I was like, there it is. That's the missing train ticket. So there was that one, and
well, wait, I've got 2 follow-up questions for that. 1, did you get his jumper back? And 2, did the students let you stay at the party?
No, we never stayed at the party. It was like, I mean, we got a fright. We just opened doors, man. And I thought it was probably some dodgy swinging party. But no, we never stayed at the party. And I think he did get his jumper back. I think it was in the very first, like, the sensible answer was he left it on the seats at the last pub we were in. We got it back the next morning because we went back there for breakfast or something. And honestly,
you went back after this jumper, eh?
Honestly, it was the fucking plainest black jumper. I don't even think it was cashmere, but that's what it's like. And but no, I mean the other time was we're at a charity night for work, and you know the wee game where.
Oh, you were trying to tell the story last time when we got cut off because the guy was at the door.
Oh, that guy at the front door.
So
you flick the coins to win the bottle. So you flick like a 20 pence, and if it lands closest to the bottle, you win it. So Chris was doing really well at it, but a guy was winning it every time, and then he felt sorry for him, so he was like, "I've won like all these bottles. Here, there's a bottle of Absolute vodka." And at these events, that will get that cracked open, get that share drink. Right, we're not paying for drink here if you've got a bottle. And
it charges for a glass.
He's like, alright, so he fucking greedy boss pours himself like a glass of vodka, full glass, pours me one, and the bottle's gone. So I think like honestly, the stubby bottle of Absolute was gone between 2 glasses, and he puts a wee bit of cola in it. And then he was like, I slid it along, and he was like, and I went, absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. By the time I said that, he drank his, and then he starts fucking stoating about the place. The old spiral staircase walking round backwards. Like, and I remember his uncle was there, and we were outside, I think it was outside Smith's, and you got like the metal railings, and Carson was like fucking legless, and his uncle's propping him up with his arms. And we're like that, he's standing there, and we went, oh, there's the police. And his uncle went, where? And Carson just flopped down, and fell behind the bins. And it was like, fuck, he might have banged his head in that, so we picked him back up and then put him against the railings. And then the police car stopped and we're like, you take him home. And they're like, has he come out of a crime? And we're like, he's come out of a lot of crimes. And they're like, no, we can't take him home if he's not like come out of a crime. And we're like, you take him home every week. Like, you give him a lift every week. Just this is when he actually needs you. And they're like, no, and yeah, I had to get a lift off somebody. But he's never lived that night down. He gets brung up at work constantly. But fuck me, there's There's loads of them, man. There's
That was the next point. Like, I don't know much to it there because I want to get you and Chris on at the same time. But do you remember, like, didn't I get in a way because there was something I studied? Remember, like, we went to Russ McLaren's birthday bash in Edinburgh? So
that's annoying because if there's a question about my favourite night out, that's what that is. I was getting that as one.
Oh, well, you can mention it later. We'll get him on because I want to get both his on and just.
Because that night, although when I was thinking about it, that night that was one of the best nights. I fucking loved that night.
That was a class night. Remember I was in the digger. Broke out the building's house in the digger.
As rock and roll it is, the best bit about that night was when you and I were just having the tea in the bed.
Who starts in? Fucking, I don't know why, right, that's going to sound really weird. But he starts in and his pants are down. And I don't know why. Little Christopher Carson. Remember when he woke up the next morning and also there's 3 hours in this big double wig and he's spooning me and I'm like, are you got any clothes on? I was like, no. Like, get the fuck away from me.
I remember, see, when I'm an amazing fucking, like, bed sharer because I sleep like a plank of wood, straight down one side of the bed. Don't even use up any covers, don't even touch anybody. Poker straight. And I remember you waking up.
Aye.
And you would have been like almost spooning me. And it was just like, I just turned around and just seen your face. And you're like, have you got clothes on? And Carson's like, oh, no, I'm sleeping naked. You're raging. And then he goes up to the window, remember? Right,
and he was like,
and he just opens the curtain. He just opened the curtains wide.
Like a big massive, like, bay window.
And the big Victorian windows, and he's absolutely starkers. Fucking hell.
Remember obviously you and me went and Erling got the munchie box, and he comes in, goes over there, just slaps and he's like, fucking Pecora, and just chucks it away. We'll get him on.
We need to, that story needs revisited because there's fucking.
There's a lot of stories that I missed it around that. While still at school, we attended the infamous Tina Park Festival. Well, it was its prime years. And when we went, even the day off school, we booked the tickets. First of all, it was an amazing place, wasn't it?
Well, Balado. In fact, was it the move? No.
It did move, but I think
it was 2009 Balado and then it moved for 2010?
No. It moved to 2012, I think.
Oh, did it? Fucking. The crazy and best time.
That was a magical weekend.
Like, I could actually throw up thinking about half of it.
How did you manage to get a day off school to book tickets?
Oh, because my mum
just your mum's sound.
My mum's sound. Shit like that happened all the time. Gigs and that. Sometimes she'd buy me gig tickets.
I'm pretty sure I said this is going to sound ridiculous. I asked my mum something like, oh, can I go to tea in the park? And she was like, no, there's Tetla in the cupboard. She just sounded stupid like that, and I was like, you're on. I'll pass on. That's probably what I get mine for. Aye, but what can you remember about? Yeah, you went to 2 Tina Parks, didn't you?
2009, 2010.
What's your main favourite memories about the Tina Parks?
Tina Park 2009 was my favourite because it was scorching. It was so sunny.
I think the first time you go anywhere is always the best thing.
Oh man. And like, you didn't know what you were getting into and it was probably for the best. But one thing I got a haircut before it and it was a dodgy, like the dodgiest mod cut gone. Way too short as well. But no, that was brilliant, man. We just ran wild. Blur was headlining.
Do you remember Blur when song 2 and there was like everyone was jumping at the same time, but I'd jump and I would just didn't go back on the floor because I was this wedged into people.
That was Because I mind waiting on, no, it was Snow Patrol. It was before Blur. Because they played extra long, didn't they?
Aye, because they were
And
sick.
like, it was so hot and everybody ran out to drink and it was just like near death. And Peter's like, when we waited forever and they were about to come on, Peter was like, crowd surf me out, I need a shite. I need a shite, so we had to crowd surf him in the front. And we're like, Peter, you've waited like 8 hours, man. And he's like, I need a shite. And he missed him. And Blur were just fucking amazing straight for the get-go, man.
They're one of the best bands I've seen.
When they played Tender at the end, I was nearly greeting.
I think I was good.
But I used like every ounce of energy in my body just fucking disappeared after that night. It was special.
Never pulled Stephen Hill at the thing.
That was funny. Was that? No, that wasn't the time where the boy got pissed on in the cubicle. And mind it was a wee guy called Alistair or something. He was sitting in.
Oh, he was sitting in a poo. Aye.
Was that the year after maybe? Fucking wow.
I think it must have been because I think they were usually below us. I think they all went the year afterwards.
But he was sitting taking a shite, and
I forgot about that.
and the boy's bashing on the door. And he's like, "It's locked. Somebody's in here." He's the most timid guy ever. He's like, "Somebody's in here. Somebody's in here." And the boy just kicks the door in and starts fishing out the top of him.
Everybody just sits there like.
Oh man. Mine was good. I liked it. That was when they had the 365? You got a stain in your shoe. Mm-hmm. Aye. And the infamous T in the Park tent running. We used to run
man.
and foil the guy ropes.
Aye.
And Bob got in an altercation with the tent next to us, and he blamed it on the Jesus guy.
Jesus guy.
So like there was a big, like, we had like shitey wee tents. And remember when he had the tent, the pop-up tent, we used to put it there some dangerous person.
Aye.
Like part of the group, no strangers. And there was this, like, we pitched up these wee shitey tents. And then these folk roam in with like the big, like, 8 fucking compartment things. And they upset Paul, everybody upsets him anyway, but they upset him and he was like, ah, fucking. So he got like Connor or something and he shoved him into like one of the compartments, but he like crushed it.
Uh-huh.
And they came running out the tent and they were like, who done that? And they got the stewards there and the stewards were like, right, this is like the 3rd or 4th time or something happened. And the stewards were like, right, that's it, it's fucking enough. Let's bang out the order. And Bob went, it was that Jesus cunt there and it was just some random guy with his beard.
See, I didn't know that now, but.
And then they grabbed him and put him in the back of the wee van and to kick him out the campsite.
I remember the year after Ped stole one of the security guard's hats. The security guard grabbed Bulge and went, if he doesn't come back, you're not going anywhere. And then Bulge went, have you got the power to do that? And the guy went, no, I'll just let him go.
Aye, the wee hats that they had, But oh man, I mean that was like touch and go that we were going to get chucked to 2009. I made all the, like, it was about 8 of them, mate.
I don't know, you were the year after, but Ped did get chucked to it the year after and I go back in.
Did they? Oh man. Mine, that was at the... No, I think it was 2009, somebody chucked the fucking can of beer. Remember there was a big, like, it was almost like a fucking murder in it. He chucked the can of beer into the campsite and it hit somebody. It was a full can.
Aye.
And for the full weekend we never knew who it was. It was like a game of Cluedo.
Who was it?
Ped. You'll have to like delete that as Ped.
Ped and Chris and Bob was as well.
Peter killed somebody. It's an admission.